for this very important international press conference in relation to the just concluded court judgment, that is the electoral litigations in our various courts, which started from the tribunals to the Court of Appeal and to the Supreme Court. Today, the final judgment in the Supreme Court is settled. Unless maybe some places where elections were ordered, there are wrong elections, the cycle for electoral litigations has ended today. I waited to hear the judgments that will come out from the court, the highest court in the land, that is the Supreme Court, before I will come here today to address the press on my own election. As you are aware, I was declared the winner of the election that was conducted in my Central District in February 2023, where I led my opponent with a double digit in thousands, with over 11,000 votes, where I also defeated my opponent in his own local government and in his own ward, and in his own polling unit withdrew. He have 33, I have 33 votes in his own polling unit. But the judgment of the Court of Appeal, which I know it was perverse, I know it was skewed, and I know it was not based on any legal jurisprudence. I waited now to hear what will come out of the Supreme Court, because as you are aware, the National Assembly and State House of Assembly election cases ends in the Court of Appeal. We have no powers to take our appeals to the Supreme Court. So we have to wait now for related cases to be heard in the Supreme Court. And we will now deduce that if our own case could have gone to Supreme Court, how will it be? For example, as you are aware, that in Kano State, for example, the Court of Appeal ruled that the deduction of 165,616 votes from the NNPP candidate in Kano was legal. When it got to the Supreme Court said you cannot do that. You cannot deduct a vote. In my own case, my own vote was deducted. 57,775 votes was cancelled in my own election. 253 polling units were cancelled, meaning that 27% of polling units in my Central District election was cancelled in 27 polling units. Recall that in Adamawa State, the wider state where I came from, we have 4,104 polling units. 4,104 polling units in Adamawa State. But supplementary election was conducted in just 69 polling units, meaning 1.6% of the polling in Adamawa State, supplementary election was conducted. Why? Because the number of registered voters in the 69 polling units exceeded the margin of lead between the two candidates. So there have to be supplementary election in 69 polling units out of 4,104 4 polling units. But in my own central district, 924 polling units, a judge in this country cancelled election in 253 polling units in one central district and did not order our own election. Just because they know I want those places, just because they know if election is conducted today, tomorrow, next tomorrow, till Jesus come, I will still win. They say there will be no election, and they cancel it there. That is perverse. We have kept quiet for long and see some judicial bandits become threat to Nigeria's democracy. And it's time for us to begin to hold judiciary liable. If a driver is driving a car and through the fault of the driver, he killed somebody, the driver may be arraigned for manslaughter. Why are judges above the law? That they will deliberately occasion a miscarriage of justice and nobody hold them responsible. They are above the law. Do you need to be in the good book of a judge, or you need to be on the side of the law? The answer is simple. Citizens should be on the side of the law, not in the good book of a judge. And the judge who gave the skewed and perverse judgment, who actually, 3 of her recent judgment is against the judgment she gave. Her own judgment, she went against her own judgment in my own case, was nominated to go to the Supreme Court. I have written to the president today, and I'll read a letter to the president. We don't need those kind of character in the Supreme Court. We don't need it. I have petitioned the president to stop her swearing as a court of the Supreme Court. And I have also written to the Nigerian Judicial Council, NJC, today, and I'm calling on the NJC to investigate this case. Like I said before, if a medical doctor killed a patient through his negligence, then that judge, that medical doctor, will face a panel. If a driver killed someone due to negligence, that driver will be punished. Judges must begin to be punished. Ladies and gentlemen, I will read the letter that I sent to the president. There may be it's similar to the one I sent to NJC about the 3 judges. It's just that the one I sent the 3 judges to the NGC is to investigate them and to punish them for deliberately miscarriage of justice. And I want to also add quickly that judges and MBA, you have to stand up and protect the law. And I'm calling on good lawyers. I have received call from senior lawyers, very senior lawyers in this country, who say they are tired of legal profession. They want to change law. They want to change profession because it is not again who know the law. It is not again about the law. It is not again about the hardworking lawyers, but who knows his ways around judges that wins election. Don't leave this profession for bad lawyers. The good judges out there, don't give up and feel as if the bad judges who override your good judgment are having a field day. No. Don't become corrupt. Don't become bad like the corrupt judges. To the president of the Court of Appeal, because you are not mentioned in this letter, to the president of the Court of Appeal, let it be on record that it is during your time as the president of the Court of Appeal that the Court of Appeal descended into the abyss of caricature. There has never been time in the history of the Court of Appeal that the Court of Appeal became a catch and carry point, a POS point, like as in your own time. And I want the president of the Court of Appeal, Justice Monica Damsa, to know that I screened you as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in June 2020. Your CV was forwarded to us. I have your CV with me. We screened you. Despite all the hullabaloo against your nomination, we look at you and decided based on the merit and the document before us, and we confirmed you in the Senate. Did I take money from you? Have I asked you to give me any money as a senator before I screened you, I passed you? I could have objected. When you visited the Senate President, Senator Ahmed Lawan, that time, in the Senate President Lodge, official Senate President Lodge in Maitama, on that Thursday by 8 p.m., I was there, I received you in the Senate President Lodge. Did I ask you for money? Did you give Senator Ahmed Lawan money? Today in your court, the moment matter go into the Court of Appeal today, it becomes something else. Children of judges, flawed either petitioners or respondents, agents of judges, flawed politicians, asking you to go and settle the judges. This is not the renewed hope of Mr. President. Mr. President, you came under the renewed hope mantra, meaning before you renew somebody's hope must have died. You are renewing the hope of Nigerians in the country called Nigeria. This is not a renewed hope. And we trust, Mr. President, that you will continue renewing the hope of Nigerians. We have seen you act swiftly in the Better Edu Gate scandal. You moved swiftly. And we also believe that you will move swiftly on this matter. If we want to practice this democracy, we must accept defeat. We must accept that certain things are right and certain things are wrong. And we make do with the wrong ones and try to correct them in the future. 16 members of the Plateau House of Assembly were sacked illegally, arbitrarily, perversely, criminally. And today the Plateau is burning. The state of the Court of Appeal President. My colleagues in the Senate was sacked by the Court of Appeal. But the other one, election was arranged for the other one because some higher people intervened. Are you listening to me? AVM Bali, who defeated my brother, the Governor Lalong, with over 51,000 votes gap between them. I defeated with 51,000 votes. And now you are the senator. What is the offense? That the primary of Plateau State, the convention of Plateau State was not well conducted. And the Supreme Court have now ruled in favor of the governor. What happened to the people that the tribunal and the Court of Appeal removed? Two judgments by one panel. One judge say they should go back and conduct another election. That is the one for Madcom, Senator Madcom. And the one for Senator A.V. Bali, the general, they say they should take it away from him. On the same ground, this somersault and backflips in our judiciary have to end. And every Nigerian is crying. I watched the interview or the written speech of retired Justice of the Supreme Court, Mohammed, recently, and I weep for this country.